Good morning in there out there. I'm here with Julie. Vivi's looking out the window. I gotta have a slurp. Oh boy. Former student, wonderful guy Sam Hurt from Indianapolis brought this coffee. Ooh, Sam. Vivi's staring. She's looking for deer. Aren't you? She might not stay here. I don't know. She might get excited about some deer. Won't you? Huh? Wow, haven't we had the snow? Welcome to Sentimentalist. Hi, Mariana. Mark. And, wow. Wow. That's as many times I've shoveled. Of course, I don't remember. Maybe I've shoveled it. Julie made it out yesterday. Wow, that was a lot of snow yesterday. Huh? It was so much wind. But is it a joy to watch Vivian romping through the snow? Yeah, it sure is. Well, I'm glad you're here with me. I've had some wonderful emails this week about it was John Jacob Jingleheimer yeah. Let's see what we can talk about that doesn't matter. That's what's important. We have to keep, looking for those things that actually matter to us while we're living through these pretty cruel and mean and let's not say it, distract things that take us away. It's hard on her mood. Ooh. Right, Viv? Isn't she? She's really fixed on maybe a deer's coming up the hill. Yep. To William Stafford, it was his birthday yesterday. Oh, I was saying Sam Hurd from Indianapolis. He works for one of the largest, if not the largest, like thousands and thousands of kids in the summer to this camp. And it's a nonprofit that he works for, YMCA, all over and he's primarily hiring hundreds of counselors, and they, of course, today have to go through a lot before they hire them. A lot of, what do they call that? When they check on somebody, they have to rev them or something. What is it? Vet. Rev. I'm speaking at the C3 Church. I'm the Reverend Jack on Sunday. Yeah. As I used to tell my students, I'm a heretic for Jesus.
And where is the C3 Church?
Oh, Julie said, where is the C3 Church? It's in Paris. It's in Grand Haven, 20-some miles up the road. Hi, sweetheart. Oh, she's going to leave. I can tell when she did that. You going to turn around, look out that window? I don't blame you. Oh, do we love to look out that window? Yeah. Deep, deep snow. And the mayor, Gary, invited us over today. We can't put that down. Boy, Julie busy at the UCC church. Holy cow. Pastor takes another church and the phone rings for Julie. That's what happens. Yep. Finished Heather Cock Richardson's book, Democracy Awakening. We find out so many things. Democracy's always been, it's never been reached. We're always working toward it because of needing equal rights. That's the main thing, equal rights. Different times in history for different people. And I don't know, you read the book, at least I kind of shake my head and say, hey, let's have equal rights for everybody. Let's have equal rights for Vivian. Sure. Actually, I believe that. Yeah, I really do. Got David James's wonderful board here that holds my little notebook up. And I got a gift in the mail from a classmate of mine, a wonderful pitcher at the college, Bill Harper, Reverend Bill Harper. And he sent me the Golden Collection of Garbage, the special collector's edition of Mad Magazine. Now, I think every former professor should be presented with it, right? Yeah. And then he sent me Percy Bysshe Shelley's In Defense of Poetry, which I don't have time to read to you, but he had the poets are the unknown legislators of the world. Anyway, it's the Defense of Poetry. A lot of us had to read. I bet you had to note that. Might not remember in an English class. So I'm over next door walking around with John. John's 89. I'm from New York. And, well, actually, he goes, "Why don't you like me?" I can't believe, what? "Why don't you like me?" And I said, "Well, I don't know what you're talking about. What leads you to say that?" "Oh, the other day I came out of the house and you were down at the end of the yard and I yelled, 'Hey, Jack.' You just walked back into the woods. Why don't you like me?" I said, "Well, I didn't hear you and I didn't see you." "Oh, well, all right." Then I asked him about this. He has a little house pretty far back behind his lovely home. And it turns out he's an artist. Never said a word. Took me into this, and it was like walking into just magic. Opened the door, and there's all these paintings and all these brushes and different kinds of things, and a big sound system to play while he's painting. And with lives you never know that are right there, right beside you. So that was wonderful to know about John. And Vivi, I said, this is Vivi in the Drifts. So wonderful to watch her. After all those years on a leash, that wasn't what dogs are supposed to be on, is it? Huh? No, they're supposed to run and play in the snow. Let me go. Let me be a dog, huh? Yeah. Yep. But I was shoveling 5 to 10 times a day. And off the back deck, so it wouldn't collapse, and the front walk. And then we had this steep drive, and Julie, of course, lugged ashes out and put them around there. Are you bored yet? Yeah. Oh. Oh, Julie sneezed. Poor Julie. Oh. And our internet went out for a little bit, and that really shows you what that whole internet business is. And our daughter had a snow day, so she was happy about that. It's so hard for her to be teaching what she's teaching to whom she's teaching. Most of her kids are wonderful, but she has kids who know how to make it not wonderful for everybody. I don't know. I wouldn't be able to do it. There's no way I could do that. Sam Hurt, did I mention Sam Hurt? And yeah, I did, didn't I? But do you know what he has? This is, it's you're happy if somebody likes a poem and wants to publish it. Nobody reads it, those magazines, but you're glad, they liked it. Sam Hurt this is the best place ever for a poem. He has a line from a poem of mine tattooed on his arm. Yeah. Of course the angels dance is tattooed on his arm. Julie built a closet. And she hurt herself building the closet, which it's so, it's hard to be a spouse when you want to do something and you just stand there and say, or everything falls flat to me. Nothing, everything. If you're quiet, that's not very kind. And if you say something, it sounds stupid. And there's no way to fix the thing. And she hurt her ankle and she broke these fingernails back. Oh, man, does that hurt? Huh? Whew. Well, we had our first group called Landscapes. The Landscapes of Poetry, and they're the landscapers. And we had our first meeting of this round last night, and I am always, oh gosh, I'm going to screw it up this time. And I did, actually. But I don't know if they'll want to be this again and do it again. And I have to keep reminding myself every time is new because every poem is new that we talk about. And they are so, it's like being with the faculty of Williams, Vassar, Harvard, Smith, and Yale all at once. It's astonishing how artistic ability, talent, and incredible intelligence. They see the most subtle of things, or the most certain implications. This comma. Last night there was actually this about, I think it's the commas. Isn't that a wonderful thing? See, where else do you get to have that conversation? We laugh about that, but we realize, where else do we have a conversation where it comes up? I think one of the reasons this poem is working so well is because of the commas. And then we talk about commas. I'm so lucky. So lucky. Did I say Julie built a closet? Coming up in February is the 50th reunion of my father's Sports Illustrated written about terrific best team in University of Pittsburgh's history. And they're having their 50th reunion. And I wish I could go. I used to have to, in order to listen to their games, I used to have to get in the car up here and drive all over the place until I could be in a spot that would pick up the radio broadcast of the game. That was always fascinating. And holy cow, my dear former student, Ryan Morehouse, won his, ready for this, 700th game. 700th win. And the first couple years he was coaching, he was 31-23. So think how many games he's won and not lost since. And it's for those women. It's the fastest any coach has reached 700 wins in all of basketball history, back to Naismith. Division 1, 2, 3, 9, 15, whatever. Fastest ever. And he's such a wonderful man. When he was in my freshman English class, we would talk about being coaches' kids. He was a coach's kid. And all he wanted to be was a coach. I think I said this last week. And all I didn't want to be was a coach. Oh gosh, I've never been able to handle the way people talk about coaches. Never. Did you see that hilarious thing yesterday where this poor reporter asked the coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers playing the Detroit Lions this weekend? And she said, well, how are you preparing for the weather? You know, it's going to be so cold and it's freezing. And you come from Tampa and up here in Michigan with snow, and it's going to be so cold on Sunday when you play that game. And he had this sweet little funny wry look, almost feeling sorry for the reporter. And he said, well, Detroit plays in a dome. Oh gosh, that poor person. He said, it'll take us 22 seconds, he said, to get from the bus to the dome. And we'll be all right. We'll be all right. Yeah. And our dear friend, Coach Cal, John Calipari at Kentucky, last night won his 400th game at Kentucky. And we're so happy for John. He's so good to our family. He's so good to everybody. He's the kindest man. does anything for anybody. Hardly anybody knows about it. You'll never see it written about it. Reporters and people have it in for Cal. They think he's some smart, fancy suited guy, and he's is down to earth. Blue collar family from Pittsburgh. Boy. Well, last night, finish up. So I have this dream, and I'm in the theater, and they had to vet me to get into the theater. I had to write numbers and see if they matched the $20 bill I gave them. I don't get that. That's a funny part of a dream, I guess. But I found a seat. It was very crowded. It was a big deal movie. And I'm watching the movie, and I can't believe it. The movie is the outside. At the end of our bed is a big window where we can see the pond and everything. And at night, because we don't have light pollution out here, we see the whole sky all night long. And I'm watching the movie, and I'm going, that's our, look, that's our place. That's where we are. And all of a sudden, the person about 4 over from me is snoring during the movie. And I can't believe it. How can you be snoring? This is, I had wakened up, and I thought I was still asleep. Oh boy. Yeah, let me go over my list, because see if there's any other inane things that you don't need to know about. That's about it, I think. Did I tell you Vivi loves the snow? Let's do a snow poem, an ice poem, a cold poem. It was -8 here, wind chill yesterday. But we have a friend in Montana, it was -45. What do? Stick your nose out the window, it falls off. Holy cow. So this is a little poem called Ice Storm. And very sweet thing to say. Dan Gerber, so you know Dan Gerber. He likes this poem a lot. Ice Storm. Here on the couch with my old dog, I find I'm feeling gratitude. It's an odd gratitude, an old gratitude. One I thought had gone for good down a long back road that led away from the years when I felt glad, felt what I believed was an abiding gratitude. To be warm, and grateful to be warm. To have some pillows, and a dozen books, and all afternoon. Yeah. To be alone without even a side swipe of loneliness. To be on page 47, or 114, or page 1. And there was nothing missing. The ice storm had made things warm. Time irrelevant. Made the sleeping dog an amen to a prayer never needing to be said. Take care. Try to be cheerful. Stay warm. If you're there. If you're in New Mexico with Marianne, you don't have to worry about that. No. Baby's nose.